thoughts on the Flacco trade?
Oh yeah, it was surprising. You know, didn't see that coming, but wish Flacco the best. You know, and yeah.
And then Flacco and Pickett took the bulk of #1 reps in training camp. Neither is here after 5 weeks. Do you think that was a waste of time?
I won't say a waste of time. I don't know what that was. I'm pretty sure everybody thought they'll still be here throughout the season, but things change. So yeah.
Do you wish that you and Joe would have been able to connect more during football games and really try to get things going better?
Yeah, of course. We would have connected more. It would give us a better chance of winning games. So of course, I wish all those plays connected. But it's football. It's not going to be perfect all the time.
Yeah, Jerry, when you look at the room now without Joe, right, it's obviously really young. So do you feel like you need to do anything else to help bring along those guys when you don't have a veteran presence like Joe?
Yeah, I mean, as far as in just, playing my game, just being a little bit more detailed and fundamentally sound, just being a lot more detailed in our game just for the younger guys, for the younger quarterbacks, and just, being the best version of myself for them. So, it's important.
Jerry, this Pittsburgh defense is second in the league right now in 10 takeaways, and obviously one fewer game than most teams. What have you seen from that defense on film in terms of turning the ball over and some things they're good at?
Like you said, they're second in the league behind who? Another team. I forgot what team that was, but they got a good secondary, and good defensive line. Guys that have been making plays in the back end. We just gotta do a good job of not turning the ball over and playing our game.
Do you feel that with Dylan in there will be more opportunities, I don't mean than with Joe, but more opportunities than maybe even we saw in the first game, to push the ball downfield and to make those big explosive plays, give you a chance to get it deep and get this thing going and switch on?
It's just a week-to-week basis, depending on the team we play. Hopefully this week we get to go downfield. Last week Vikings are a too high team, so it's hard to really go down the field against them. So it might be a little bit difficult, but hopefully this week we could do that.
Denzel was saying that everyone in the meetings still feels like winning is the most important thing despite the trade. How do you guys just traded a captain to a division rival? How do those two things square? How is winning the most important thing and who's getting traded to the Bengals?
Winning is always going to be the most important thing. What was your question again?
Just if winning is the most important thing, then
yeah.
How does that fit with Flacco getting traded to a division rival?
I guess we feel like we got a good quarterback still, though. Even though with Joe Flacco being traded, we still got Dylan Gabriel. He had a good game last week, as for his first career start. And, we feel like he could have an even better game this week. So, that's all I can think about, So, yeah.
Did you like or what did you think about the fact that, Dylan zips around a little bit more and he's out of the pocket and can make some off-schedule plays and do some different things? Do you think that brings a little bit of a new dynamic to the offense and can be beneficial as you guys go forward?
For sure, having a mobile quarterback, that it's always hard for the defense because now they got a couple two plays, the first original play and second the scramble drill. So, it's always good to have, a mobile quarterback just to have that option.
Jerry, I know you're more frustrated than anybody that you haven't been able to hand the ball all the time. Just how have you learned as a veteran in this league to close the door on those things and kind of week to week just keep moving?
Well, for me, I feel like I'm a guy that I understand this game of football. I understand when I'm supposed to get the ball, when I'm not supposed to get the ball, when they're trying to call play for me to get the ball. It's a lot of things that gotta work well for the receiver just to be successful And for me, I just understand that, you know, and I just don't really dwell too much on it. Just move past it, and hopefully next week, you know, we get more opportunities to really take advantage of.
When you look at this receiving core as a whole, probably not the production you guys are looking for. So how can you unlock, I'm sure, the talent that you feel is in that room?
You know, I feel like just by still doing what we've been doing, you know, just running our routes, you know, being a lot more fundamentally sound, being detailed in all our routes, you know, and eventually, you know, the ball gonna come our way, you know. I feel like we don't really got to change too much, but just keep playing our game, you know, and, you know, eventually, you know, we're going to have success.
Do you feel like
Joe, that brings Shedeur and or Bailey closer to, you know, one snap can always bring them back up. And how do you feel about how Shedeur and Bailey have looked so far?
You know, I got a lot of trust with those guys. You know, those guys been here since OTAs and since minicamp. You know, they've been doing their thing. You know, so we got a lot of trust in those guys. You know, and, yeah.
Shedeur has said that he feels absolutely ready to play, ready to start. Again, we don't get to see that. We don't get to see that anymore. But how has he really come along over the last 4 or 5 weeks?
You know, he been doing a good job. You know, just understanding the plays, doing whatever the coach asks for him. You know, and he been doing a great job of just, you know, being a pro and, you know, doing what he need to do to be able to, once he get his chance, to take advantage of that. So, you know, that's all we could ask for him to do. You know, once he get his opportunity, just take advantage of it.
Jerry, going back to last year, offensively, you guys have scored 20 or more points just 3 times. In an offensive league, that almost feels like unheard of.
Yeah.
So just, you know, from your perspective, what do you guys have to do to get more points on the scoreboard, which then will give you guys opportunities to win some of these close games?
I think everybody just need to be on the same page. You know, all 11 players that's on the field. You know, just everybody just focus on their job, one play at a time. You know, and then we'll get to where we need to be at. You know, that I feel like that's the biggest thing. Just everybody just focus on their job, on their execution, on their assignment, and we'll score way more than 20.
Are you having to block out, you know, any of the noise? I mean, do you stay away from any criticism that you might be taking so far this season for different things that have happened so far?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I don't really listen too much to the outside noise. You know, because, you know, they're outsiders. They don't really understand what's going on within the locker room, within the players and the coaching staff. So, you know, I don't really focus too much about people that's not in this building, you know. So, yeah, so I don't really, like I said, I don't really focus too much on that because I know the type of player I am and what I could bring to the table, and so do the coaching staff and the players in the locker room. And, you know, that's the only people's opinion that I care about is the people that's in this building, nobody that's outside of it that's not really doing nothing but talking for real.